Welcome, everyone. This is Robert from AIO Integrations doing our third episode of In the Queue. And today we're going to be talking about Teams. Now, Microsoft Teams, there's a lot of controversy and different people between Teams and Zoom. But Teams is a completely different animal than Zoom. And you really need to understand what Teams does for an organization. It is not just a tool to do conferencing with. It is actually a project management tool. It is a case management tool. There's a lot of different cases to use Teams for. And to give you an idea, we're going to set up a project today in Teams and show you how to set up a workplace which allows you to restrict who can access it, who uses it, communications, files between those groups, and how to integrate those into OneDrive and into your Explorer's file system to create a company drive for that project that is restricted to just the people that are using that project. Now, this is very important to things like HIPAA compliance, if you're an attorney, things like that, because only the people that are working on those cases are actually supposed to have access to those files. So we're going to take you through that whole process. We're going to do that in 15 minutes today. So we're going to do a much more in-depth episode of this about how to eliminate a file server completely for a company coming up in our next version. So consider this a preview for our fourth live session for In the Queue. But I want you to definitely check this out, and you are going to see that Teams is a much better tool than others. Now, I've also got something really cool in mind, and we use Vonage for our business. So we've actually integrated our phones into Teams, and so I can actually do my instant messaging and calling from within Teams on landlines. So it also integrates with your calendar and other things like that. OneDrive, it is a much more extensive tool. So we're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to open up a browser. And what you're going to do is you're going to log into office.com. And if you're an administrator, you will have an option under this menu up here that says admin. Then you click on admin, you will be brought to a screen that looks like this. And this is what the admin can do. Admins can, administrate the Office 365 or Microsoft 365 instance. Now, what you want to do is go under Teams and Groups, and you're going to go under Active Teams and Groups. And to add a team, you're simply going to click over here and hit Add a Team. And we're going to call this Test. Let's just call it In the Queue. In the Queue Test. All right. This is going to be for demo purposes. And we're going to hit Next. And now we're going to select who owns it, which is going to be me. All right, there I am. So I'm going to own it. Now I'm going to select myself as a member. And let's say I'm going to add my marketing person, Corey, as a group. Corey is one of our marketing people. He does all our video. And I'm going to add, I'm just going to leave it to the two of us for right now. I'm going to create a Teams address for this. And right now, natively, it's going to do it at aiosupport.net, which is one of our domains. It's our main domain. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. And I'm going to call this, let's call it In the Queue Test. What's important about this is actually an email address. You can make it public or you can make it private, okay? Private means that only the people inside your company and the members can use it. Public means that everybody can send an email to it and it will go to everybody in the group. Now, for the main purpose of this, because most people use these as public, and what I mean by that is if you're like an attorney, you're going to be emailing your clients, or maybe a paralegal, or maybe you're going to do depositions or work with an outside firm, and you want to be able to receive emails that go to that group. So this can be the email that represents that case, and everything going to that case will go to, everybody who's a member. And at that point, I can hit review, add the team. And at this point, it's going to create the team and all the permissions that are made for it. And these members will have access to that team. Now, this is really cool because now that team is added, I'm going to go over here to, I'm going to minimize this here real quick, and we're going to go over to Teams. And wow, here is my Teams client. And without even refreshing it, I can see that, wow, I'm already here. And now I have this general thing. Now, let's say I want to be able to have a central place that I can keep files for this. And I want to be able to see it inside of, I want to be able to see it inside of my desktop here for the PC. Okay, you can see here I have another one that's called AIO Marketing. This is our marketing team, but I want to create one specifically for this group. So all I have to do is click over here and go down to the teams, go to General, click over to Files, and you will see that there is nothing in here, but you see this little link that says Sync right here. This works in conjunction with SharePoint and um, have to excuse me there. I am battling a little bit of a cough this week, so I'm not going to worry about trying to re-record this because I'll just do it again. Um, you're going to see that you can hit sync here, and it is going to work with OneDrive, and it will now create a drive in here. Here's my Explorer. Here's my existing, and here all of a sudden it's in the queue general, and now I have a file server, a virtual file server that's in the cloud that I can now store files in. So if I want to drag a file or put files into here, and let's just say I want to go to grab maybe some picture files, and let's just say I want to copy these BMW photos, for instance, that are God knows how old, and I want to go put these over in my project because maybe I want to show everybody in this project my BMW from 20 years ago. Okay, this is now in here, and I can access these files and see them. And I can also see them up here inside the Teams client. So if I go in here and I refresh this, I can now see, let's do a refresh. There we go. And you can see that I can now see these files. Okay. And I can download them and whatever else I want to do with them. But this is a wonderful way to not only create, and I can also chat with members of my team. So if I want to communicate with members of my team here within this team, I can actually chat with them inside of here. I can create notes. I can create posts. So if I want to create a post within this, I can actually put up new project due date. Type in anything I want here. You can see I have the standard Word toolbar here. I can include pictures and all sorts of emojis and other things. And this can actually become a bulletin board for this project for all the team members. Share files, I can add notes. So this actually works in conjunction with OneNote and creates a custom notebook just for this team. You can see it's setting it up right now and creating a notes tab that you can access from Microsoft Notes. And here we go. Now I can add notes and I can insert I can pretty much do whatever I want to do in here. And this is limited to just the people within this team. This is really, really functional. There are other things. I can add tabs to do other things like PowerPoint, whiteboards, streams. I can link other things like if I want to, I have a link here with uh, sprints. If I want to link in a YouTube video from somewhere or a calendar or something from a project, I can do all that here, Jira Cloud. You'd be surprised the number of integrations there are with Teams. It's huge. So these are all things that you can do, and each one of these is an individual team project with different permissions. This will only show up to the people within that team that are members of that team. So everybody else in the company will not be able to see this except for the people in which I specified. This is a really great way to organize things. Now, I'm going to give you a good case basis. Let's just say that this in the queue test, I'm at a client site and I want to include a sample, a video or a file or something that I want to include to this, and I want to get it to Corey because I want Corey to add this. So I can actually add those files in here. I could create a new folder in here and I could say uploads. You could give it a custom color if I want to. And now that I have uploads in here, I could put a new file in here. And I can simply drag and drop that from anything over in here. So let's go back up to my, let's say we want to drop a piece of music in here. Uh, here we go. I like ABC, so I'm going to drop in, let's see, this is album art, obviously not what I want. Where is the, okay, here we go. Here's a song. I'm going to drop in this song right here and just drop that over there. There we go. Now I have a song up here. I put an MP3 file up here, and I want to basically go in and now and tell Corey that I have added this file here. Now there's a variety of ways I can do this, but I'm just going to put up a post and let him know that best. So just he knows what this is. Uploaded music file or new video. And I'm going to, and obviously I can't spell today, so I'm going to go fix this. And I am also going to go let him know to ignore this because I don't want him to do anything with it, and I haven't given him a heads up. Please ignore is for a video. There we go. I'm going to post that. All right, so I can do this. I can also send individual chats to that person if I want to. There's all sorts of things I can do. I can plan and schedule calls. I can obviously I can schedule a meeting, plan a meeting. Those will show up on my calendar, automatically create links. It's very, very cool what you can do. Now, people have, for some reason, have thinks this competes in some way, shape, or form with Zoom. I actually think it's more competitive with like Slack. Now, do I use Slack in my business? Yes, because and I don't use it internally in our company as a management tool because we use Teams and it's not good to use multiple things. But I do use Slack because I communicate with other companies that use Slack. So, yes, and there is Slack integration with Teams. So, there's all sorts of cool things you can do with this. But I wanted to give you a very quick idea of how easy it is to create the integration between Teams, between Internet Explorer, or not Internet Explorer, but Windows Explorer. So you can actually share files and you can get to them natively from your desktop. You can see that upload is there, that music is there. And anybody in the group that has access to this project will have access to this drive. And it's that simple to add that one click integration into Windows to be able to get to files and share things between people. And the reason why this is important is because this works regardless of where I am. In other words, this is not location dependent. So listen, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week, and we'll see you for our In the Queue session then. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't miss the whole version of this where we go into some very big specifics about how to eliminate your file server.